It's an iPod. Dr. Pepper. Palm Pilot. I'm an Apple user, so I don't like Creed, but Palm Pilot. Oh, man. Assault and battery. Brainstorm. These are easy, I'm sorry. Grab apple. No, don't say ooh. You've been gone for one day. Come on. Focus on the what? What's one said? No. Yeah, focus on the profession. The profession is what? Made. Made? Made in China. Made in China. That's like. You're ugly. Religious trivia. Because I am interested in world religions, studying world religions, I just wanted to do a little religious trivia. These are slightly longer answers, and so you might have to raise your hand. Why have religious clerics banned Pokemon in Saudi Arabia? Now, they're naked. They're naked. It's a good idea. That's not the case. Some people see it as of Jewish origin. That's not the case. Yes.
They're violent.
They're violent. Beautiful, beautiful answer. In college, I would say, good, you get extra credit, but you're wrong. There's really not a lot you can do with extra credit out here in the woods. but yeah, no, they're very violent.
You're first to the dinner line.
You're going to be first to the dinner line. Something that the Pokemon do. I'm relying on. What do the Pokemon do?
They do magic.
They do magic, and that's not the reason this is. But this is. You wouldn't necessarily know unless you. They evolve. Yeah, they evolve. So, okay. Why were people in Iceland originally reluctant to become Christian? Could it have anything to do with horses? It could. Interesting trivia. Christian missionaries demanded that they stop eating horse meat. And eventually they did not do it, so Christian missionaries went there anyway. So, what happens when culture and religion clash are one of the things that we're going to be talking about. What religion is? Gosh. Superman. Actually, Superman, Supergirl, and his family, they're all Methodists. Hellboy. Good, man. Oh, good. Catholic, good. I'm going to go talk over here. Catholic. The Thing from the Fantastic Four. No, he's Jewish. It's interesting. He came out, a few years ago. It's a real cute cartoon. He's a person is apparently dying, and he's on one knee, and he's praying in Hebrew. And all of a sudden, someone comes up to him and says, "Are you Jewish?" And the Thing looks at him and he says, "Yeah, why do you ask?" And the guy goes, "Funny, you don't look Jewish." Presbyterians, you can find all this stuff online, of course. For Presbyterians, we are really low on superheroes. I'm looking at the young people because maybe they know these two. One is Penance. I think, wow, that's a great name. Of the Thunderbolts. I don't know that. And one is Wolfsbane of the New Mutants. What's great is they say that she was raised by Scottish ministers, so she has real big sideburns on the side. She's very upfront about her Presbyterian faith, I hear. It's okay. My God is better than your God. That's right. The challenges of other world religions, the challenges of other religions, Christian identity and integrity is what I want to be focusing on for the next half hour. What are challenges in thinking about religions or religious perspectives on our own? What does it mean to be Christian, and why does that matter? I think those are just base level questions that all of us, I hope, ask ourselves. The bridge story from Emo Phillips. Emo Phillips shares a story. He says, "I was walking across a bridge one day, and I saw a man standing on the edge, about to jump off. So I ran over and said, "Stop, don't do it." He said, "Why shouldn't I?" I said, "Well, there's so much to live for." He said, "Like what?" I said, "Well, are you religious or atheist?" He said, "Religious." I said, "Me too." "Are you Christian or Buddhist?" He said, "Christian." I said, "Me too." "Are you Catholic or Protestant?" He said, "Protestant." I said, "Me too." Are you Episcopalian or Baptist?" He said, "Baptist." I said, "Oh wow, me too." "Are you Baptist Church of God or Baptist Church of the Lord?" He said, "Baptist Church of God." I said, "Me too." "Are you Original Baptist Church of God or are you Reformed Baptist Church of God?" He said, "Reformed Baptist Church of God." I said, "Me too." "Are you Reformed Baptist Church of God Reformation of 1879 or Reformed Baptist Church of God Reformation of 1915? He said, "Reformed Baptist Church of God Reformation of 1915. I said, "Die, heretic scum," and pushed him out. When we think about other religions, they're not people who are simply distant from us or in far off lands or anything else. They can be living in our own house. They can be going to our own church. And one of the challenges is, how do you begin to understand other faiths? The my God can beat up your God. I like this. This is from Worth 1000. I like this picture because it has all sorts of different faiths. You can see Christianity and Taoism and Islam. But you can't see it that well over here. And the very, very back one, it's a McDonald's ball. I think, in general, when we think about other religions, sometimes we have quick responses. So I've heard this quotation before. Everything I need to know about Islam, I learned on 9/11. I've heard people say that. Similarly, I've heard people say, Muslims say, everything I never needed to know about Christianity, I learned from the Crusades. Which is dark, which is, of course, grisly. And I think the question is how do you begin to actually have some sort of kind of interfaith dialogue? There are two typical ways of understanding beliefs other than your own. I'm shifting into the college classroom thing here. There are two typical ways of understanding beliefs other than your own. One is we could call universalist, and one we could call exclusivist. A universalistic approach may be characterized by Hinduism, characterized by Unitarian Universalists. And very frequently, you think of the 6 blind men or 8 blind men analogy that many of you have heard. They approach an elephant and try to determine what is an elephant. And each of them grabs a different part of the elephant and then responds. One person who has the tail says the elephant is like a rope. Another person touches the side and says the elephant is like a wall. Another person is gored by the tusk and leaves. There are a variety of ways of understanding that analogy, but a universalist approach says, I have some vision of what I believe the truth is, but I know that I don't have the entire vision. Typical universalist cartoon. This is Charles Schultz, you might know before he did Peanuts. He did this wonderful series for church youth groups, some church youth groups. And it says, Wally Nelson will now lead us in a discussion entitled, "It Doesn't Matter What You Believe, Just So You Believe in Something." It's kind of a universalist. It's a parody of a universalist approach. Another approach is exclusivist, an approach that says, my religion, my faith is correct. You have your faith, it's, you may be well-intentioned, but it's wrong or whatever. But this is an exclusivist approach. And so, let's face it, sir, what I'm really looking for is a list of good scriptures to memorize in case I get into a violent religious argument and need something to say. So you've heard things like before. Or, we disagree theologically. He thinks he's perfect, and I think he isn't. I was going to say the beauty is because we're Presbyterians, we know he's not perfect. What does being Christian mean? The theme of the conference is passing it on. That's primarily what I want to talk about. Just a quick background. Sometimes I go like this with my hands. Here I'm teaching the Department of Religious Studies at Virginia Wesleyan College. It's in both Norfolk and Virginia Beach area. And I teach world religions frequently. I also teach a course called Extreme Religion.